Last week before your first qualifying tournament, let's talk about your plan for this week. I'm Coach Pratt, and I've been teaching robotics and design for over a decade now. And by the end of the day, your build team, your program team, and your outreach team should have a plan so you can have a successful first qualifying tournament and have things set up ready to go. Let's talk about it. For this week, it is driver practice and some pit crew prep and some judging preparation. That's kind of your main kind of overall goals. For your build team, again, no change to that competition bot. And your hope is that you can kind of act like an F1 style pit crew. So you should be creating some pre and post match checklists of things that need to be set up. And yes, literally bring a checklist. An excellent example of this is I think back to astronauts, NASA. Astronauts are fantastic scientists, but they're also really, really good at following directions. Because if you're running an experiment up at the International Space Station from ESA, NASA, what have you, and you do something incorrect in your steps on that space station, there is really no coming back from that because it's one of the only places, I won't say in the world, but it's not in the world. It's one of the only places in the universe where we can test these kind of things in space. So you need to be able to follow these instructions explicitly and be able to have a checklist. You can mark off where things are done, where things are not done. Is really useful. You're probably finding that some of your mechanisms need a specific orientation. Maybe an odometer bot needs to be set to a specific point. Maybe an arm needs to be set to a specific position. Maybe your robot needs to be tilted in a specific way, or your turret needs to be started up in a specific section, or the balls need to be lined into your robot in a specific orientation. You should have these as a pre-match checklist. You've also probably found over your tests for the last week or two with your drivers that certain things break down, certain things get loose. Rubber bands don't have enough tension. This would be a good time to have a post-match checklist to check the things that are regularly showing wear and maintenance on your robot and think, okay, do I need to add another rubber band? Do I need to swap these rubber bands every couple matches? Do I need to clean off the compliant wheels? Do I need to take a damp microfiber cloth and wipe down the sort of grit that starts to develop on those flywheels over time? Do I need to wipe down the rubber surface on the back of a flywheel shooter? Whatever have you, do I need to clean off the mechanism wheels between all these matches so I can have consistent gripping each time? This is the time to create those checklists for pre and post and check them off for each of your matches so that you can make sure that your robot is in the same state, or at least the best of the same state, when you are ready to get started. So practice some of these common repairs, check your battery changes. This is a good time to check out my video down below on testing if your battery is still competition ready, because not all batteries have the same internal resistance. It means they're only capable of sending out so much energy over time. And you need to replace your batteries over time. So this is a good time to take a look at that. Make sure that your battery is able to give out the energy your robot's going to need. Also a good week to be packing all different tools and all different spare parts you're going to need. If you're using 3D printed parts or laser cut parts, cut out a few extras so that when you're at your qualifying tournament and something breaks, you've got the ability to repair these when you need it. For your programming team, be on standby for your driver practice. Your drivers should be spending, hopefully, most of this week just running a bunch of sessions, running match after match after match. Take other objects like chairs, whatever have you, spare robots, put them into your field and imagine that a robot has broken down, or imagine there's a robot playing defense in this section and you need to be able to avoid that robot for those sections. Try to practice in some real world scenarios. Unplug a drive motor and see if your driver can still practice within these sessions. Now's a good time to make sure you backed up all your code in multiple locations. Make sure you're using some sort of repository or some sort of version control system like GitHub, like Iceberg, other different repositories, even Google Drive, if that's where you're going on individual code changes like on Java, so that things are all up ready to rock. Make sure you've packed the different chargers that you need so that you can make sure your driver station is up and ready to go the entire season. So for your outreach team, time to pack that finalized portfolio, your pit display, any sort of handouts your team might be giving, whether it is stickers, whether it's pins, whether it's buttons, whatever have you. Make sure that your travel and your food logistics are set up for the competition. Make sure that each team member knows how that is that they are getting to that competition. And if they need help with rides, they need help with public transport, whatever have you, help them get set up. The biggest goal for this week is your drivers focusing around. You really want to have your drivers have a bunch of practice on this. I get the feeling this season especially is really well defined around having a strong driver who can avoid other robots, who can play defensively, do some sort of defensive pinning of little robots, whatever have you. It's definitely going to be a bit more like FRC than previous FTC competitions. We've seen these in some of these practice matches that have already been coming up as well. So there's definitely far more defense coming up this season. So when your drivers are practicing, as much driver practice as you can will have you finding more success in your qualifying tournament. Set up some chairs around the field as sort of stand-in robots. If you have another robot that can be driving around, have someone run defense. Make it hard on your drive team to be practicing some of these. You don't want to only practice under ideal conditions. Unplug a drive motor and see what happens. See if you can still perform your robot the way you would expect at that section. Can you still move yourself around? Can you still drive yourself around? Do some of this testing to see if your robot and your drivers can handle themselves under stress or under non-scenario or non-ideal conditions. And then practice lots of your full 2.5 minute sessions. Practice your autonomous, make sure it's running. Hopefully that has been running from the section, but practice lots of your 2-minute matches. And the more time you can get practicing your driving, the more success you're going to find on that qualifying tournament. So I hope you found this series helpful on getting yourself prepared for your first competition with your 12 weeks away. Let me know in the comments down below how your team did at its first qualifying tournament at the end of this week, because I'm curious to see. If you'd like more resources, you can consider joining the Robotics community down below. Other than that, best of luck out there in your first competition, and maybe we'll see each other out on the competition field.